Have you ever noticed someone who's almost invisible online? No selfies, no birthday posts, no life updates. In a world where attention is currency, they seem to opt out completely. And most people assume one thing. They must be shy, insecure, or antisocial. But psychology tells a very different story. In fact, people who rarely post their photos online often share traits linked to high emotional intelligence, inner confidence, and mental clarity. Let's break down what's really happening, and why this quiet behavior is far more powerful than it looks. Reason 1 is they choose privacy over validation. Most social media platforms are built on one thing: external validation. Likes, comments, reactions, tiny signals that say, you're seen. But people who don't post much often have a strong privacy orientation. This doesn't mean they're hiding. It means they're selective. They understand that not everything meaningful needs an audience. Their joy doesn't increase because it's watched, and their pain doesn't need to be explained. Psychologically, this shows self-validation, the ability to feel secure without public approval. And that's a rare skill in the digital age. Here's where it gets interesting, because this behavior isn't just about privacy. It's also about identity. Now, reason 2 is they know who they are. Without needing feedback, research on self-concept clarity shows something fascinating. People who post less often have a clear internal sense of self. They know what they value, what they want, and what actually matters to them. So they don't need constant feedback loops to confirm their identity. They're less influenced by trends, less reactive to comparison, less shaken by silence. Their self-worth doesn't rise and fall with engagement numbers. And because of that, they're often more consistent, grounded, and emotionally stable. And that stability leads us to another powerful trait: emotional security. Reason 3 is their confidence doesn't need proof. There are two kinds of confidence: the loud kind that seeks attention, and the quiet kind that doesn't need to explain itself. People who rarely post photos usually fall into the second category. They don't need selfies to feel attractive. They don't need posts to feel successful. They don't need public milestones to feel accomplished. Psychologically, this points to secure self-esteem, confidence that exists even when no one is watching. Studies link this type of self-esteem to lower anxiety, less approval-seeking behavior, and stronger focus on real-world goals. In other words, they're building their life, not documenting it. But there's another layer most people miss. Reason 4 is they think deeply, not perform publicly. People who stay quiet online are often highly introspective. They don't post impulsively. They don't overshare emotionally. They don't feel pressure to react to everything. Psychologists call this an internal locus of evaluation. It means they judge themselves by their own standards, not public opinion. They prefer meaningful conversations over comment sections, depth over display, authenticity over aesthetics. To them, silence isn't emptiness. It's intentional. And maybe the most underrated reason of all? Lastly, reason 5 is they understand the social media illusion. They see what many people don't. Social media isn't reality. It's curated highlights. Psychology calls this social comparison theory, the tendency to measure our worth against what we see others displaying. People who post less often understand how damaging this loop can be. So instead of competing in an endless comparison game, they opt out. They protect their mental health. They choose peace over performance. They live moments instead of staging them. So the next time you notice someone who never posts their photos, don't assume they're insecure or antisocial. They might be emotionally grounded, deeply self-aware, and quietly confident. They don't need to be seen to feel validated. They don't need an audience to feel whole. And that is real confidence. If you enjoy understanding why people think and behave the way they do, hit subscribe. Because on this channel, we don't just scroll through lives. We decode minds.